Within 6 months, our factory caught fire. The whole factory was on fire. And I was standing down, ऊपर फैक्ट्री में आग लग रही है, and I was there at the site, and मैं फ़ोन से मैसेज कर रहा हूँ, and I was ordering new machines.
है और वो आपके आंखों के सामने जल रही है और आप नीचे खड़े होकर मैसेज कर रहे हो कि आगे क्या करना, लाइक दिस इज द माइंडसेट दैट वी शुड हैव, लाइक वी ऑल शुड हैव, कि आगे का सोचो उस टाइम
So
पे।
there's a very good book. उसमें पूरा ये दिया हुआ है कि how mines are controlling the whole lithium supply chain. There is no shortage, but इन्होंने इतना ज़्यादा कंट्रोल करके रखा हुआ है, and
इज देयर अ
that
वे आउट?
the whole ecosystem is so successful that the e-rickshaw manufacturer is making money, the e-rickshaw driver, the dealer is making money, the driver is making money. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. We were the first in India to get the lithium batteries for electric vehicles. Now, in terms of the certification, we are pushing really hard so that we get the first certificates in India for the 156. Things will really change after March. So I would not say that previous batteries will catch fire. The chances of catching fire after March will be almost negligible.
Welcome back to another amazing episode of The Clampnosh. In today's episode, we are speaking with Samrath Kochar, the Managing Director and CEO of Trontek. Trontek is India's leading EV battery manufacturers, manufacturing batteries for electric two-wheelers and three-wheelers. Trontek literally is driving India's clean mobility revolution. Let's hear it from Samrath. How did he do it? And while you do that, please not forget to hit the subscribe button. Welcome Samraji on the Clampnor show. So before we actually go ahead, like, would you say that this right here in front of us is a white gold?
Yeah, obviously the battery is the new oil, and you call it the white gold now.
And what is so special about this battery?
So I would not say it's special about Trontek battery, but overall lithium batteries are the future. So you have to accept that. So you
And
want,
you are taking India, like really leading India into the future.
yeah. So we are just going with the momentum of the government push towards the electric mobility.
So, like I had this question for you that right now, this is like we call the space the white gold. But when you entered there, was it called white gold back then also?
So it was totally, people didn't even know what is actually a lithium battery. It was so hard to convince the customer, the driver, the dealer. So what is a lithium battery? So when we launched the lithium batteries for e-rickshaws in 2017, so people didn't even believe that this is actually a battery. It was just like an iron box. The driver said that we don't believe that this will actually run, because people are used to seeing that conventional batteries with acid fuming out, and you had to have you need to put acid in that, and the yellow the plastic containers. So we had to actually convince really hard that this is actually a battery, and this will run better than the conventional lead acid battery. So we gave all the customers a promotion that okay, any wrong thing happening, you give us the battery, give the battery back to us. And but once the drivers started using them, they said okay, this is something like, what is something is like an innovation, something new. So people started really accepting that, but there was just a price challenge, except that everything was so positive from the customers.
And initially, when you say that it was hard to convince the people, so like initially, what was your customer base?
So we started our batteries with e-rickshaw. I mean, the e-rickshaw segment was our lowest hanging fruit. So because you're already selling the lead acid batteries to them, those were our the closest connected customers. So we offered them the lithium-ion battery. We started with just a batch of 100 batteries. First we got 10, then we got a batch of 100 batteries, and we did a campaign in Lucknow, and we launched the e-rickshaw batteries. And there was a gap of close to like 50,000 between the conventional and the lithium battery. But we said okay, we'll plug half of the gap and you start using that, and we gave a double warranty than the lead acid. So it was really hard, but then those who could understand, they really accepted it, and they're really happy.
And were those decisions that you took back then profitable in terms of revenue or on your charts?
It was totally a negative business. So because we are taking the loss on our books for every battery being sold, but we knew that this is the future, and till the time it will not. I mean, The driver will not taste it. You will not understand what it is. जैसे वो कहते हैं हिंदी में बिना मरे स्वाद नहीं मिलता. So same way. So जब तक आप उसको टेस्ट नहीं करोगे, चलाओगे नहीं, so you could not understand what is the difference between this one and the conventional battery.
जिस तरीके से ई रिक्शा का सक्सेस हुआ है, like it's one of the biggest successes.
So e-rickshaw was never there in India. It's like a new baby. Even in the CMVR, like the Central Motor Vehicle Act, e-rickshaw नाम की कोई चीज़ नहीं होती थी. It's a new baby which is born now. So I would really applaud the players who got this product in India and really pushed कि उसको successful कराया. So we were just one part of the ecosystem कि हमने एक बैटरी लाया उसके. But the biggest, I would say कि applaud should go to the e-rickshaw guys who got this product to India, and it has become so successful. It is the whole ecosystem is so successful that the e-rickshaw manufacturer is making money, the e-rickshaw driver, the dealer is making money, the driver is making money. So it's a win-win situation for everybody.
And it's played out like so well. Like even the rickshaw, I still remember that time. Like I think I was in school at that point of time that we used to see two rickshaws. Like and most of them were like, नहीं अभी shift नहीं करना है, नया नया आया, पता नहीं कितना चलेगा. And today like I recognize them by face. Like they have gotten old, but now they have purchased that e-rickshaw. So like it's just so beautiful the way the entire thing has played out. So what do you think are the learnings from the success of the e-rickshaw that could be probably applied further?
So e-rickshaw में सबसे, as I mentioned अभी कि the whole ecosystem is profitable. I mean not profitable I would say, but it's a win-win for everybody. E-rickshaw driver पहले वो pedal मारता था, तो उसके लिए भी अभी क्या है कि it just have to run the accelerator and the rickshaw is running, and the money he makes per day is much more than what he was making earlier. The dealers who were earlier selling like autos or other things, they got into the e-rickshaw trade and they saw such a big volume of e-rickshaws selling. So पहले ऑटो कितने बिकते थे? बहुत कम बिकते थे. But now the number of e-rickshaws what sell on the market on the road is far bigger than what we see than the auto rickshaws. So it's a win-win for each and everybody in the ecosystem.
And I really hope that with this transition happening and like the entire EV transition, I know it's going to become a win-win for everyone and just like plays out that
and
way.
And e-rickshaw played the biggest role in the EV transition. It was the first, I would say, the vehicle which came that was 100 like fully electric from day one. So we already saw the two-wheelers running on petrol. They moved from petrol to electric. But e-rickshaw, something what we saw came from day one as electric.
And it addressed the pain points like so well. Like it wasn't just a product, it really addressed the real pain points. Like I used to see these rickshaw drivers driving in the heat. But the way it has just blended into the system.
Now it's a matter of pride for a rickshaw driver that he's just sitting and just turning the accelerator and he's just running. Earlier for them it was like pedal marke, it was like a labor work. कि पेडल मार के हमने पुश करना है, and it was a painful job for them. Yes.
And I think that forms another learning for us that whatever new technology we are getting into the space, it has to become the part of people's lives. It has to enter the zones of comfort and convenience. And only if you take all of them together, that is the way you're growing. And which I think is somewhere also like a component of your success, because you played into that transition for India. And now what you're doing, like congratulations and all the best, because I know things are coming up and I hope that it plays out like really well for you.
Thank you.
So one is the trust of like getting the trust of the customers कि customers हमारे प्रोडक्ट पे ट्रस्ट करें, customers इस आइडिया पे ट्रस्ट करें. कि उस टाइम तो इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स के बारे में इतनी बात भी नहीं हो रही थी, बट आपको अंदर से खुद पे ट्रस्ट कैसे आया? लाइक अंदर से क्या थोड़ा सा था कि अभी तो कोई बात भी नहीं कर रहा है, या फिर जो आपने उस टाइम सोचा, उस टाइम आप 10-100 बैटरीज का बैच था और आज लाइक लिटरली हम अभी बात कर रहे थे, यू पुल डाउन द द विंडो ऑफ योर कार, लाइक कौन सी बैटरी है, एंड लाइक ट्रॉन्टेक की बैटरी है. तो इट फील्स लाइक कि एक टाइम पे 10 और 100 बैटरीज का बैच बना रहे थे और आज इस स्टेज पे कर रहे हो. उस टाइम पे अंदर से कुछ फियर था, कुछ क्या थॉट्स थे आपके?
सो फियर तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं था. आई वाज कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट द टेक्नोलॉजी एंड आई वाज रीडिंग अ लॉट अबाउट इलेक्ट्रिक कार्स, the electric mobility, lithium batteries. So I used to travel a lot to China. I used to travel a lot before COVID, obviously. After COVID, everything stopped. But before that, I used to travel a lot. So I was seeing that electric mobility is like booming, and this is the future. So I was confident from inside that yes, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम तो है नहीं है. एंड अपने आप से विदाउट इवन टेस्टिंग वी गेव अ वारंटी ऑफ 2 years कि इसमें एनी प्रॉब्लम कमिंग, एंड नो प्रॉब्लम केम फॉर्चुनेटली. सो in fact the batteries are still running जो हमने उस टाइम बेची थी in 17. Some batteries are still running. It's been 5 years now.
Wow. Also, like, because earlier you were doing like UPS and other things. तो जब आपने ये decision लिया shift करने का, what were people around you saying? Like, was your family supportive, or were people around you supportive for this idea?
So the biggest the change what we did was stopping the lead acid battery business altogether and moving to only lithium. So
और
that
उस
was
time lead acid चल रहा था.
that is चल रहा था, and that was a very very difficult call, but I took that hard decision and I thought कि ये करना ही पड़ेगा, otherwise there will be a dilution of interest. So मैं lead focus करूँगा, मैं lithium focus करूँगा, एंड आई न्यू लिथियम इज़ द फ्यूचर. अगर मैं लेड पे फोकस करता रहूँगा तो मेरा मे बी 30% भी मैं डाइल्यूट कर दिया अपना इंटरेस्ट, तो 70% ही वहाँ मिलेगा. आई वांट टू पुट माई 110% ऑन लिथियम. सो मैंने कहा लेट्स टेक अ टफ कॉल, क्लोज लेड एसिड, लेट्स डू ओनली लिथियम नाउ. So in 2020 we took this tough call and stopped lead acid business altogether and only lithium.
एंड जब ये ऐसा किया, और इस लाइक बात पे आपको क्या चैलेंजेस रहे, या फिर कितनी ईजी या डिफिकल्ट थी ये जर्नी ट्रॉन्टेक बनाने की, और आज ट्रॉन्टेक क्या है और क्या कर रहा है?
सी जर्नी कभी भी ईजी तो होती नहीं, बिजनेस जर्नी कभी भी ईजी होती नहीं है. इट इज़ नॉट अ केक वॉक. यस. सो challenges were there, but we had the courage to overcome them. So the biggest problem, the biggest episode in my life was when we started making the batteries, and third time में within 6 months our factory caught fire. The whole factory was on fire, and I was standing down. ऊपर factory में आग लग रही है, and I was there at the site, and मैं फ़ोन से मैसेज कर रहा हूँ, and I was ordering new machines. In 19 days, we had the new machines ready in our factory to set up the new factory. In the second factory, we started the production again in 19 days. All our customers were fearful कि अब Trontek तो बंद हो गया, अब Trontek की बैटरी मिलेगी नहीं हमें. But we gave them a confidence कि आपको within 20 days you will have the new batteries from us.
वो प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड, वो करेज कहाँ से आया जब एक फैक्ट्री, मतलब मुझे समझ आता है कि किसी की फैक्ट्री जल रही है, ठीक है, वो लाइक सिर्फ एक बिल्डिंग नहीं है, उसमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें, उसको खड़ा करने में कितनी मेहनत लगती है, और वो आपके आंखों के सामने जल रही है, और आप नीचे खड़े होकर मैसेज कर रहे हो कि आगे क्या करना. लाइक दिस इज़ द माइंड सेट दैट वी शुड हैव, लाइक वी ऑल शुड हैव, कि आगे का सोचो उस टाइम पे. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल व्हेन challenges come in my life, my team always tells me कि हो गया, अब just think about कि आगे क्या करना है, ये तो हो गया. बट आपके पास वो प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड कहाँ से आया, लाइक उतना
अब जो हो चुका है
करेज
उसको
कहाँ
वी
से आया?
couldn't do anything about that. जो हो चुका है that could not be undone. So we have to talk about the future, and my customers are waiting for me. So there was a pressure from the customers before that also. So I was just coming from a customers meeting, and they said कि अब हमें order आपको double करना है, so get prepared for that. And मैं आया तो I got the news around 6 o'clock की फैक्ट्री में आग लगी है. So I went to that site, and उसी टाइम पे ही I ordered the machines, and in 20 days we had the new factory running.
एंड लाइक उस टाइम पे लाइक was like there should like had to be a like capital loss also, तो आपने वो
So there
कैसे
was a
मैनेज
big
करा?
capital loss. In that, my wife supported me a lot. My bank supported me a lot. So I was totally on zero. And my family, my wife, the banks, they supported me, which gave me the strength to stand again.
And what is Trontek today? Trontek today, like for A to you right now, because you have seen something burn down to ashes and then stood up again. And like as I mentioned, that you really are playing a vital role in India's EV revolution. So in terms of that, and B, the kind of technologies you're working on, the kind of products that today you are working on.
So last year, everybody knows that there were a lot of EVs catching fire, and government got really strict, and they did a lot of audits among all the factories, the scooter factories, the battery factories, and they gathered a lot of information from each factory कि आपकी बैटरी में क्या कमी थी इसकी वजह से आग लगी. And they I mean they were smart enough, and I would not blame them, or I would not tell them that they were wrong, but that was really good, and they set up a set of rules that you have to follow this in your new batteries. It took them time, obviously it's not a one day job, so they took their time, and in October they came out with the new rules. I mean the rules came out in September, but we are supposed to implement from October. So our industry said that it's not, it can't be done so fast. So it just pushed to 1st December. And first, there are two phases. One is 1st December, second is 31st March. So that's called the AIS 156 revision 3. So now every battery which has to go in an electric vehicle, be it a two-wheeler, three-wheeler, or an electric car, you have to follow those testing criterias. It's not only about the testing criterias. You have to get your battery tested. You have to follow them also. You can't just pass any battery and make any other battery. So everything will be audited. You have a compliance of production. You have a COP. They call it a COP. So I am very confident that after this, so the fire episodes will not be there. The end customer will benefit from that. The batteries will be really safe now. So it was a learning phase for everybody. Batteries came to market so fast. The industry grew so fast. People didn't have time to understand, to learn the whole battery and the whole ecosystem of the industry. But I'm very confident that after this, these stringent rules, the batteries will be really safe now.
And why were the batteries like catching fires earlier?
So there were a lot of shortcomings. The type of raw material used inside, the technology which was used to make the batteries, how the batteries were made. So there were a lot of shortcomings. I cannot give each and everything in details. The technology, I mean, it's a like a engineering decision. I would say design change, and so many things were wrong. But now, after the new rules coming in, everything has been plugged.
But the good thing is that we are on the right path and
We
we
are
are
on the
moving
right path,
towards
yes.
that.
And government is taking a good decision, a good, I mean, call on that.
Definitely. So at the moment, like, what is your business model and like what you're doing currently?
So, honestly speaking, presently we're not doing anything. We are just preparing our batteries for the new rules so that we can bring the best of the technology batteries to the market so that people feel safe. From December 1, we'll start selling the batteries as per the new guidelines.
And who are your end consumers and customers?
So we sell to e-rickshaw segment, we sell to the two-wheeler segment, we sell to the solar segment. So these three are the main segment where we are selling our batteries. Two-wheeler industry is really booming, e-rickshaw industry is booming, solar industry is booming. So we are going with the flow and trying to just catch up with that.
And do you feel that EV के revolution में lithium, specifically lithium batteries, has a very important role to play?
That's right.
So, because there are conversations around, like, I attend, like, do a lot of these talks in a lot of colleges and stuff. So, like, one very prominent question is that lithium ki mining sustainable nahi hai, and there are like many conversations around it. So, what are your thoughts on it?
So ऐसा नहीं है कि लिथियम की माइनिंग वो नहीं है, सस्टेनेबल नहीं है. देर आर लॉट ऑफ लिथियम माइंस अराउंड द वर्ल्ड, बट देर इज़ अ कार्टल बीइंग प्लेड अराउंड दिस बिकॉज एकदम से डिमांड इतनी बड़ी. पीपल हैड अंडर रिटन द माइंस, स्पेशली चाइनीज़ कंपनीज. उन्होंने अंडर राइट कर दी थी माइंस पहले ही. दे हैड बॉट आउट ऑल द माइंस अराउंड द वर्ल्ड बिकॉज दे न्यू दिस इज़ कमिंग. So like the Gulf had controlled the oil, Chinese will and they will continue to control the lithium supplies around the world because they knew this was coming, and the home industry of electric vehicles was so strong in every. So I've understood now कि जब भी कोई प्रोडक्ट किसी कंट्री में बहुत पहले बिकता है देन वो एक्सपोर्ट बहुत होता है. सो पहले वो होम कंजम्पशन बहुत होती है. सो चाइना में इसकी इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स की होम कंजम्पशन बहुत ज़्यादा थी. अभी भी है. आई मीन दैट इज़ नाउ द बिगेस्ट मार्केट इन द वर्ल्ड फॉर इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स. So they had foreseen this in advance that yeah, this is the future, and you know that COP and the all these things are happening, climate change. So this was coming. This had to come for sure. So now coming to the lithium. So lithium की ऐसी scarcity नहीं है. There's no scarcity of lithium. But yes, the mine operators have done a cartel and they have raised the prices really hard.
And like while there's a lot of research being done around the world. Like I was reading a few researchers just say, like, one is the very common ki how do you get the lithium from the existing devices and batteries, like how do we recycle that, because जो वहाँ से extract होता है वो भी like it's one of the finest forms of it.
That's correct. So recycling will play a very big role. पहले तो there was no spent batteries, there were no used batteries, so recycling industry was not developed too much. But yes, now it is being developed. Trontek also plans to get into recycling. एंड जो भी स्पेंड बैटरीज होंगी, बी इट मोबाइल फ़ोन बैटरीज, बी इट इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल बैटरीज, so they'll be taken back and they'll be recycled to get the fresh, I mean the raw material from them.
Would you say that that's again a chicken and egg situation, like because abhi penetration ho rahi है and once we have that
Yes,
and then only we can
yes.
just get the
So
loop?
once you have the scrap in the market, you pick up that, recycle that, and you extract the metals from the scrap.
एंड कमिंग टू सेकंड क्वेश्चन, लाइक आई ऑलवेज हेयर दिस थिंग, जैसे जो हमारा ट्रक्स वाला सेगमेंट है जहाँ पर ट्रक्स बहुत हैवी लोड कैरी कर रहे हैं, बहुत लंबा डिस्टेंस तक चल रहे हैं, तो उस केस में क्या हम उसको उसको कैसे इलेक्ट्रीफाई करेंगे? लाइक व्हाट काइंड ऑफ बैटरीज वुड बी नीडेड टू, यू नो, फॉर एग्जांपल फॉर दोज काइंड्स ऑफ
So even
व्हीकल्स?
so everything is being electrified. आप देख लीजिए, already buses are already electrified. So the same technology, bus and truck, you see it's normally the same technology. So if buses can be electrified, the trucks will be electrified soon. It is just a matter of time. I mean, जब तक हमारे मतलब कि next 30 years you'll see nothing running on petrol, on fossil fuels. Everything will be electric.
That, like,
The trains
yeah.
will be electric. Trains are already electric, I mean, but still we see some trains running on other fuels. But everything will be electric. There'll be no
And do
run.
you see yourself as an entrepreneur, as an individual, playing a role in that?
So we are going with the industry, with the overall ecosystem. We are yeah, we are a little ahead of the others in terms of the technology, getting the technology first, getting the right things first in the market. So we are going with the flow.
And what do you think, like, what kind of mindset or what kind of approach has really led you to be ahead of others? Because what I see here coming is that you really understand, like, what is going to come. So, how do you get that kind of mindset?
So that's been in me since I started working in the business. I mean, when I started the business, so it was always in my mind to be like there'll always be a first mover advantage in every space, चाहे वो lithium battery industry हो या कहीं पर भी हो. So first mover advantage always मिलता. So that always struck me, and I'm just following that. So we were the first in India to get the lithium batteries for electric vehicles. Now, in terms of the certification, we are pushing really hard so that we get the first certificates in India for the 156. So we just try to be ahead so that we get that first mover advantage.
Definitely. And like the battery that we see right now, like, how is this entire battery like curated?
So the battery, what you see here, so this is particularly a LFP battery which we have redesigned for especially for the new segment. I mean the 156 new regulations, and these are supposed to be really safe. So as per the requirements of the government, we have taken care of each and every point. It has the software BMS, the cell spacing, so all those things which were required by the government, we have followed all of them. It's a waterproof battery.
Definitely. And you know, like now, like really like to move forward to that. While you were building Trontek, what were some of the most challenging moments? Like, give me few instances.
So challenging moments, not really, but so we are used to taking challenges. So ऐसा नहीं था कि challenge आ गया उसको बैठ जाओ.
I think challenges थे, but आपको लगा नहीं कि वो challenges
Yeah,
थे
actually,
because of your mindset.
yes. So we never took them as a challenge. So because of that kind of mindset, we didn't पता लगा ही नहीं कि challenge है. It was just कि चलता रहा and we could just pass them.
You know, but this, like, I understand this thing कि जब हम बोलते हैं ना चलता रहा, वो चलने के लिए भी मेहनत और हिम्मत करनी पड़ती है. बिकॉज हर दिन तो उठ के सक्सेस नहीं आ जाएगी. चलेंगे तभी जाके, यू नो, विल, लाइक कहते हैं ना, उस आग के थ्रू जब आप निकलोगे तभी शायद एक पॉइंट पे आके सक्सेस मिलेगी. तो मुझे वो चीज़ आपसे जाननी है कि बिकॉज उस टाइम पे लिथियम की बात हो ही नहीं रही थी. तो व्हाट वर दोज डेज फॉर यू लाइक?
So उस टाइम पे lithium was not actually nobody knew lithium. चैलेंज तो ये था कि गोइंग टू दी कस्टमर्स एंड एक्सप्लेनिंग देम कि लिथियम कुछ अलग चीज़ है ये. सो दैट वाज एक्चुअली नॉट अ चैलेंज, बट गेटिंग योर सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेड टू द इंडस्ट्री एंड द पीपल अराउंड यू कि यस ये भी एक प्रोडक्ट है, अब इसको एक बार टेस्ट करके देखो. एंड सो हमें ये था कि आप किसी भी तरह एक इसको टेस्ट कर लो, बस किसी तरह जस्ट हैव अ टेस्ट ऑफ इट कि how it is to drive with the lithium battery. People drivers are really happy कि इसमें से fumes नहीं निकलती हैं. हमारी ई रिक्शा की लाइफ बढ़ गई है बिकॉज ऑफ दिस, क्योंकि एसिड से हमारी रिक्शा की बॉडी ख़राब नहीं हो रही है. इलेक्ट्रिकल सिस्टम्स आर नॉट फेलिंग बिकॉज ऑफ द लेड एसिड बैटरी में सिस्टम्स आर फेलिंग. इसमें हमारी रिक्शा की लाइफ बढ़ गई है और ज़्यादा. सो दे वर लाइक रियली हैप्पी. So if you're not going with some wrong intention, you're going with the right intention, you're giving something better to the industry, to the people, to the society, then obviously people will accept it easily.
Definitely. And what is like your definition of success?
So my definition of success is no shortcuts to hard work.
Hard work with smart work. I think that is what you have done. And you're a sports person, right?
Yes, I do play sports. Because I'm really occupied recently with the with my time for other things. I've been not been able to play as much as I want. But yes, I try. If I am sleeping on time, then I make sure that I play tennis in the morning and then start my day.
And what has sports like? What impact did sports had on your life?
So sports obviously teaches you the game. You have to either win or lose. So it's the same in the business, in your life. You either win or you lose. So same. That's the mindset you get from the sports.
And what does winning with Trontek mean for you?
So winning means the leadership position what we have. So that's a win for us.
And like I heard, like I was like reading a lot about you, and I heard that one place you said that within 2 to 3 years we are trying to go for IPO.
Yes.
And how is that happening?
So maybe not now 2 to 3 years, but maybe in next 1.5 year we should be ready with the IPO.
Wow. And how can you be so calm about it? Like, like I think probably that's the reason, like you're so chill, so calm. हाँ IPO है, हो जाएगा, कर लेंगे.
So ठीक है. अब उसके लिए कोई ऐसा कुछ है नहीं है. If you do everything right, it's not that difficult.
क्या सही करा आपने? Like what things that you felt that you did right?
So we have a lot of we have a clear part defined कि हमने आगे next 5 years में करना क्या है. So our 5-year plan is ready. So for that we need to raise funds and the new customer acquisition, new segments we have to enter. We have to enter recycling business. We have to start exports. So yes, हमारा clear path एक बड़ा defined है. So earlier we were not very clear कि अब करना क्या है. अब mindset बड़ा clear है कि next 5 years में करना क्या क्या हमने.
And what do you think, like where is India going in terms of lithium, like because right now also a lot of research is being done on like how do we alter the chemistry, and a lot of things are done in the lithium-ion battery itself. So where do you see India going? And second is that what will it take for India to actually, because like correct me if I'm wrong, I read it that जो cell है वो बाहर से ही आता है.
अभी तक बाहर से ही आ रहा है, but going forward I think by 2025 we should have some cell factories coming up in India.
And how is that happening? Like,
so I think 5 or 10 companies have already started building their cell factories, and again they'll have a dependency to buy the raw material from China only because China is already controlling that, and there is no other way to get the raw material. But yes, at least something will start happening. जहाँ कुछ नहीं है, at least कुछ तो होगा. So some cell will start, and there is absolutely no easy way कि आपने बनाया और एकदम से success आ गया. It will take some time to overcome the challenges of the the lithium battery industry, cell industry के जो भी challenges आएंगे. So they will overcome, and by 2030 we should have some mature factories up and running in India.
And does the range of the EV vehicle depends upon the battery?
It's purely dependent on the
and why
the battery.
Is it so, and how does it work?
So the bigger the battery you provide in the EV, the bigger is the range, but that comes with the cost. So you have to. There's a trade-off between the cost and the range. So you can't have unlimited range batteries and without compromising on the cost.
And probably I think that's why a lot of swapping startups and swapping organizations are coming up, because like I know of the one organization who's actually selling two-wheelers without a battery. So at the upfront costs actually reduces for the end consumer, and they provide battery as a service.
So swapping, yes, it's coming up, but not for a general customer. So there are two types of customer. One is a B2B customer, the delivery boys, what we see who do deliveries like for Swiggy, Zomato, and all those, for Flipkart and Amazon. But there's another set of customers who use electric scooter for their personal use. So anybody going to a office, anybody going like going a student who's going to a college. So for those kind of people, they would never prefer a swapping battery. Indians have a mindset of ownership. So they don't know कि मेरे स्कूटर में बैटरी अभी कौन सी है, और उसने वो बैटरी स्वैप कर दी, बाद में कौन सी मिली, जस्ट कि शुरू में एक अपफ्रंट कॉस्ट कम करने के लिए वो ही वुड नॉट लाइक टू सेक्रीफाइस ऑन द ओनरशिप ऑफ द होल सिस्टम. India में Mercedes-Benz came with a lease plan, but it was not successful for the cars. It was very common in developed countries like USA, but India में वो lease plan चला नहीं, because after, if you took a lease for 5 years, so after 5 years they would take your car back, but rather the person will go take a loan. At least 5 साल बाद उसको गाड़ी तो है रहेगी, उसको रिटर्न रहेगी ना, after paying his loan. So lease was approximately equivalent to the loan amount, maybe slightly lower. बट देन ही said he had that mindset कि मैं थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा दे दूंगा, बट मेरे को बाद में गाड़ी किसकी रहेगी, मेरी रहेगी ना. somebody will not take away my car. So same way बैटरी स्वैपिंग में somebody will take away my battery, मैं क्या करूँ उसके बाद. So for the delivery boys it really makes a sense कि उनके पास टाइम नहीं है चार्ज करने के लिए, एंड उनको फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, उन्होंने they have to earn daily, pay daily. So for them the revenue model really works well, कि जो कमाया है उसमें से ही पे कर देना है to the swapping company. For example, they earn like 500 rupees, they pay 100 rupees for the swapping, 400 फिर भी they say कि net तुम्हारी जेब में आ ही रहा है.
And apart from that, that's again like ownership वाला point है. But second, like do you like call it extra pullability or something, like जहाँ पर क्या हम like standardize कर सकते हैं बैटरीज को. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं एक स्वॉपिंग चार्जिंग स्टेशन, आई हैव अ टू व्हीलर, तो मैं कहीं से भी कोई भी बैटरी उसमें डालूंगा वो चल जाएगी. लाइक इज इट स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड?
इंटरऑपरेबिलिटी अभी शुरू हुई नहीं है, because every swapping company have don't have a standard battery. So every company have their own battery, every two wheeler has a different battery. So abhi government has come out with the swapping policy, but it will take some time to have that kind of standardization.
अगर किसी को डर लग रहा है कि कहीं मेरी गाड़ी में या मेरे टू व्हीलर में आग तो नहीं लग जाए.
So things will really change after March. So I would not say that previous batteries will catch fire. The chances of catching fire after March will be almost negligible. I mean, almost nil. So the strict rules which have come in now, so the batteries cannot catch fire.
And like because you operate in this space, I have just one last question for you, that how do you take care of your battery?
You
As
mean
in like for
the
example
end
an
customer?
end consumer, like like I have a two wheeler, electric two wheeler, so how do I take care of my battery?
So we give a do's and don'ts to all our customers. How should you take care of a battery? So a battery when charged or discharged really gets heated. So आप जब भी अपनी व्हीकल चला के आओ एकदम से, not to put that on charging immediately. Let the battery cool down and then put it on charging. Mostly क्या जितनी भी आग लगी हैं, the fire episode, what happened was that batteries were on charging. So when you're injecting, आप अपना फ़ोन भी चार्ज करते हो, the phone gets hot. When you're transferring energy from electricity, I mean the electricity point to your phone or to the battery, so energy is being transferred. तो उस टाइम पे the equipment gets hot, the batteries get hot. So you should not immediately charge your battery as you come after a ride. You should let the battery cool for some time, then put your vehicle on charging. Keep away from water. Water is the biggest deterrent to the battery. Even though our batteries are waterproof, but that does not mean that you can run in your like the waterlogged roads with the battery fitted. Never wash your vehicle with the battery fitted if you have to wash your vehicle, because people are used to washing their vehicle like the conventional IC with a jet spray. So even if you have to do that, just take out your battery and do the washing.
And these are like very important points that we as consumers should be like cautious about.
Yes.
And because also you have seen this space like inside out now, what do you think are opportunities for entrepreneurs in this space, specifically in the EV space, in the battery space?
So this industry is growing like anything. So we already have the a million unit two-wheel industry, which is already there, the ICE two-wheel industry, and it will not take much time that the whole industry will shift to electric. At least 50% will be electric in next couple of years. I would not say not more than 2 or 3 years. So this shift is happening. So you can enter to any space. You can start making vehicles. You can make any auxiliary parts. You can make batteries. So, but and the people who are in IC, the making parts for IC, they are feeling really scared that their industry is going to go away. So that's a fear factor for them.
And any specific opportunities you see in this space कि ये अभी यहाँ पर scope है और यहाँ पर आप start कर सकते हो, like any specific pain points, any specific problem statements?
See, हर if you're hard working, then हर जगह में ही स्कोप है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि if you do your hard work, you do your homework well, हर बिजनेस में ही स्कोप है. आप कुछ भी कर लीजिए, बस ये है कि हाँ अपॉर्चुनिटी ज़्यादा है अभी इस टाइम पे. द डिमांड इज़ इंक्रीजिंग, सो you can get into this space and start get into the ecosystem.
And would you say technical knowledge is mandatory to be in this space?
So I am not a technical guy. Whenever anybody meets me and he said, "Are you an engineer?" I said, "No, I'm not but I'm an engineer by experience. I've learned so much being in the industry." So whenever, mostly 50% of the time, I'm in the office, 50% I'm on the floor, trying to learn more and more from my engineers, from my team. So it's all by experience.
And like, what would be your like final message for people listening to you right now?
So final message, yes, you have, so EV is the future. You have to, so some people are still not convinced about the electric vehicles. So EV is the future. आप आज switch करो या बाद में करो, करना तो पड़ेगा ही.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.